Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be looking into chapter number 4, that is constructors. Before proceeding in this video, if you haven't watched the first 3 chapters of the class 10 ICSE board, then please do watch those chapters also. Those chapters are the base of this chapter. So without those chapters understanding, you won't be able to understand this chapter. So now, first of all, what is a constructor? So constructor in Java program is simple a method which has the same name as the class name. It does not have any kind of return type like we have in method. When we write method, we generally used to write method in form of the access specifier, then we write some kind of return type, and then we write the name of the method. So the constructor is different from this block. It has name, it has public access specifier, but it does not have any return type. This is always public in case of constructor, and the name is always the same name as the class name. If I have to take example, if we have the class name as public class add, then we have to use the constructor name as add only, then only it will be a constructor. So we can simply say that it is a member method which has the same name as the class name. So this is how to identify, how to create a constructor. Now next is, what is the characteristic of a constructor? So as I already explained earlier, that it has same name as the class name. It does not have any return type, as we already saw that there is no return type. We cannot even use this void in constructor. Next we have, it cannot have a keyword that is static or final. A constructor can never be static or final because constructor is used to initialize the value of the data members present in the class. So if we declare them static or final, then we won't be able to change the value. Therefore, we cannot give them static or final. Next we have, the constructor should always be public. Why public? Because the data members that we want to initialize should be public, because this initialization can be done outside the class also. Whenever one class is called from another class to initialize the values, then it should be public in order to give the value, because if it is made private or protected, then outside the class or outside the package, it won't be accessible, and that particular class will not be able to initialize the value to it. So this is why it has to be always public, and it is automatically invoked whenever the object is created. We create or we not create, it will automatically be invoked whenever an object is created. So we know that whenever we create an object with the help of new keyword, we use the statement as add a equals to new add. So this is the statement we are always following in order to create an object. So this is our class name, this is our object name. We are giving the data type of object A as add, that is, this object belongs to class which will create a memory and will initialize the values. So this is the name of the constructor that we are using when we always create an object. So by writing this, we are automatically creating the constructor that is present in the class. So whenever this statement is written, compiler will check above that if constructor is present or not. If constructor is not present, it will automatically create, and if it is present, it will search for the block and will initialize the values given in the block. So these are the characteristics of a constructor. Now, why do we need to make use of constructor? I already explained above that constructor is used to initialize the values of the data members. There are instances in real life problem where the data values or the values of variable has to be made to something in order to start the program. For example, if I have to take an example of bank account, then in bank account there would be account number, there would be name of the customer, there would be IFSC code, there would be branch name, etc. So account number would be by default kept as some 13 digits. Name would be by default kept as null because this particular account is still not given to any customer. Whenever new customer takes account from a particular bank, then all these things are not updated as per the user. Whenever customer creates account, these values are assigned to him. So by default account number will be given. By default whenever he opens the account, this IFSC code would be having some value. This will be initialized whenever he opens the account. So this is where initialization or constructor helps to initialize the value. By default the branch name will also be written in the account of the customer. So this kind of values where before starting of the program only the values is to be set, constructor comes into play. So this is the use of constructor. Also the concept of constructor is also used to implement data hiding and abstraction. Data hiding and abstraction are the two main principles of OOP. So in order to implement this we have to make use of constructors, as constructors are declared public and by the use of constructors only we can assign the values, we can change the values of the data members present in the class. Now that was all about this video. I will be covering some topics in next video, so please do subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading part 2 of this video where I will be explaining the other part of the chapter. So see you in the next one.